Hello viewers, Super GT here. Welcome to round number 2 of the ORL Forza Motorsport 6 Chevrolet Cup. Here we are in the R-Class Chevrolet. Now, there's the end of the grid, the tail end. I'm actually 11th on the grid in the B lobby, yes. Bit of a nightmare for me in qualifying. Just simply could not get my lap together. Qualifying in the B lobby, but some fairly good names in here as well. So definitely up for some good racing in this one. Let's see what happens then as we go into the first turn. Actually keeping it fairly clean. It kind of shows you that it can be done, guys. It can be done. You can get around the first corner without a multitude of death. And well, look at this. I'm actually already into 6th place. I think fate is handing me my card here, my calling card. But at the end of that straight, catching back up with Custom Dips. Now we're going to have a very good battle throughout this entire race, myself and Custom Dips. So let's see how this one turns out. Coming through turn 6, a very tricky uphill left-hander, and then through the fast right of turn 7. Now it's going to be a very close grid here because we're in the exact same car. Different tunes, of course, but the upgrades are exactly the same. So there's a little bit of room for tuning. So some cars are going to be slightly quicker than others down the straight, and some around the corners. So definitely something to watch out for in these leagues, how you tune up your car. Now coming through the fast kink, very tricky corner to get right. Now Custom Dips didn't seem to have the best straight line speed coming towards Canada corner here, and as you can see, pulling up on the brakes, and that is going to be a theme of this race, I think. Me and him doing battle into that very corner. A couple of times we did switch positions at that exact corner. Now into the final turn, again up on the brakes, pulling right up behind him. So I think it's Vanquish out in the lead. He's already developed a nice gap. And then as we go on to lap number 3, lap number 2 not too eventful. AMS DATSUN there, getting forced out wide onto the grass. That's me up into 5th place. And you can see there already developing a nice gap back to Taylor. So then moving to the end of lap 3. And I think that is one of the AMS drivers there with some damage. So as we come up the straight here, he's going to start going very slowly. Or, well, I mean 130 miles an hour is fairly fast, but obviously slower than us. So Custom Dips and I are going to go for a nice easy pass on Ken Patchy. There he is. So we go past him fairly easily. That's clearly damaged. I don't think he's driving that slowly or his tune is that bad. Just some damage, unlucky for him there. So rounding out lap number 3, just going into 4th place. Now you can see there, I think it's Taylor in 2nd place. Not too far away, and then at the end of lap number 4, coming towards Canada corner once again. This is where Custom Dips was vulnerable. Basically, this is where my best chance was to overtake. Just tucking into the slipstream as much as possible to maximise speed, and going for a move. We kind of both moved towards each other during the braking phase, and it wasn't the cleanest overtake at all. And as you can see there, sorry, Swift that was in 2nd. And still is in 2nd, and he actually opens up a much bigger gap there. Probably lost about 2nd just from that overtake alone. So sometimes it's good to overtake, but sometimes you will lose a lot of time if you don't do it cleanly, and this is one of those times. So Custom Dips trying to come back at me here as we go up the main straight, crossing the line. Onto lap number 5, just tucking back in. It's very hard corner to lunge at this corner, and not really one you want to start lunging at. Really one abreast through there at most is ideal. You want to keep speed through there as much as possible. So again, Swift just developing quite a big gap now. We've only got 5 or less than 5 laps now to try and catch up with him. It's going to be very tough to do that, and Vanquish with a very big lead. So coming down into the braking point of the left-hander of turn 5, I was just way too early basically. He wasn't quite consistent enough on the brakes, so Custom Dips making the most of that and coming back up into 3rd place. So we are just coming through the right hand of turn 7. This is a fairly tricky one to take consistently, And I don't have traction control on this week. So last week at Laguna Seca I had it on, and I kind of felt as though it was holding me back sometimes. It is easier to be consistent, I think, sometimes with traction control. It depends on the track. And sometimes when you're racing close quarters, I think I prefer to have traction control off, as I think it's easier to control the throttle instead rather than the steering. You do have to be very smooth on the steering and traction control on. Now through the right hand kink, you see they're very quick indeed. And once again, I am very close to the back of custom dips, not quite having a run though as I did in previous laps. So not able to go for that lunge on this lap. Next lap though, lap number 6, alongside, but again we both hit our braking points pretty much exactly. He does well to resist the overtake by going around the outside. But then this is lap number 7. Will it be a different story? As we go through the kink, again a little bit further back this time, but that actually gives me the chance to get a run, a bit more momentum, and therefore get more alongside. This time I just released the brakes halfway down the braking phase, just to get myself fully alongside, and he actually concedes the corner quite nicely. So I'm up into 3rd place. No chance of 2nd unless they start crashing into each other up there, but I don't think that's going to happen. Can't really rely on that. So through the final turn, just trying to exert my pace here and try and get away from custom dips so I don't have pressure on the last lap, and that turned out to be the case. You can see there the gap opened up to a couple of 100 feet, so I wasn't really threatened from lap 8 onwards, and that was a fairly decent 3rd place there from 11th on the grid, let's not forget. So a decent race there, 2:06.1 my best lap time. Now we started the 2nd race, and well, this was a bit of a mess really. Now here's an interesting character in the world of Forza. AMS DATSUN. He's famous for a very famous. Well, he's famous for a famous move. It's called the DATSUN DIVEBOMB. You've just seen one right there. So if you see someone going for a crazy lunge from another time zone back, I want you to say in the comments section, DATSUN DIVEBOMB. Yeah, so when you see one of these ridiculous moves from a mile back, definitely post DATSUN DIVEBOMB. It's the new thank you JSR LeeCampbell. Now this happened at the end of this restarted race. Look at this, I just went through about 5 or 6 people there, and well, divine intervention is obviously very good sometimes. Moses effect utilised to maximum performance there. But for some reason we restarted that race because, I don't know, a DATSUN DIVEBOMB or something. So, okay, we're going to go again from 10th this time. I was meant to be 11th, but I don't know. I don't even know what happened, to be honest. I think someone quit, something along those lines. I'm near the back anyway. So let's see how this one goes. EMR Swift, EMW, I don't think they exist really anymore. EMR Swift going up 1 position past me there. And then on the exit of turn number 2, that is Sparky just going a little bit wide onto the grass. Custom dips on my right hand side here as we go up the main straight. I think Swift deciding which one of us to block, going across between the two of us. But then as we come into the braking zone, I didn't really want to risk going for a crazy lunge here, so I braked fairly early, probably too early if anything. Vanquish around my outside, in a nice move there actually. DATSUN there, off the circuit, probably after a DATSUN DIVEBOMB, causing carnage, and then 2 guys there, Vanquish and another guy, I couldn't quite see who that was, but then those 2 just making contact on the exit of turn 6, driving each other wide. And I've gone back up into 6th place. Now 1 lap later, this is lap number 2, 8 laps in total this time, just 1 lap less for that restart. But then through the left hand of turn 8, contact once again. DATSUN kind of involved, he didn't instigate it though. So up into 4th, gained 2 positions, so making my way through the pack fairly nicely. And it's something you really want to do. I mean, when the pack is so close to each other, like it was in these races, I mean, these people are fairly even in this lobby. You do want to get away from the gap, from the group as much as possible by getting yourself a gap quite early on, because when you're so close to each other, you're going to be battling and losing time. I'll be inside of Zonda, so this is going to be my chance here to try and break away from this group as I go through up into 3rd place. He isn't going to let it go too easily though, as he puts the pressure straight back on as we come through the 2nd to last turn, and then into the last turn. So it's VBR Hayasa in 2nd place there, and then Ken, I can't remember the name, sorry, I can't actually see it there. So as we come up the main straight, Ken Patchy I think it is, sorry, yeah, Ken Patchy, I can actually read now. Yeah, he was the one who got damage in the first race. So starting towards the front in the second race. I actually didn't get the best run through that first corner, but I kind of backed up the guy behind me there, Zonda, so he actually lost a bit of time. So that was fairly good news. It turned into a very slow burning race. You can see that was the gap on lap 6, and then this is the gap at the end of lap 7. I just about managed to get onto the tail of VBR Hayasa. So it's going to set up a 1-lap showdown between the two of us to decide who was going to finish in second place in this race. So I've already had a third. Let's see if I can go one better in race number 2. Both races started from the back, so fairly good performances, I think. Although it is B lobby, yes, I would rather qualify in A, but still, these guys are fairly good in this lobby. No slouches indeed. So through turn 2, I think Hayasa on the accelerator a little bit earlier there, perhaps with the benefit of traction control, although I don't know for sure. I think I was sliding about quite a lot more than most people, so I think most were using traction control. Couldn't quite tell though. So as we come towards the turn 5 here, which is officially turn 5 for some weird reason, seems like actually turn 3, but then Hayasa very wide on the brakes, very deep on the brakes, and then into turn 6, he's on the outside. I'm just going to cut across here and claim second place. Let's see if he can attack me back, go for a counter attack early on. We're looking for the shadow as we come down here, looking for that shadow, about halfway down that shadow as well as braking. It sets me up nicely for that left-hander. And then from there to the finish, as we can see here, wasn't really troubled, so I was going to claim a decent second place, if I may say so myself. So there we go, crossing the line, second and third in Lobby B. So obviously it's better to qualify in Lobby A, but oh well, there are the results. Kenpachi with the win, and Super GT there coming through into second place. But yeah, that's the end of this round. I do hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Let me know if you see any more DATSUN dive bombs in any future videos. I want to hear it in the comments section. And also thank you JSR LeeCampbell, of course, the 2 memes of Super GT. Anyway, that is it from this video. I do hope you enjoyed. As for next week, I'm not sure if I will be racing because I'm going to Paris very early on the Friday morning. So we'll have to see, but we should be back the week after. So thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, do subscribe if you're new and would like to see more. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. And I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.